Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 15th, 9:30 a.m. If you'd all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Start with a prayer, please. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance in this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust.
Amen.
Amen. All right, and minutes.
Move to approve the minutes of the October 8th meeting.
Second?
Moved and second. Any discussion, changes? Roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes. All right. And open to public comment regarding any of our pending resolutions. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and proceed with the county engineer's office is not here. We have any?
We do.
All right. You want to hold that until?
We have a couple. Yeah.
Okay. Want to hold that off and see if he shows up, and then we'll
Okay.
pass him otherwise. Okay. All right. Sanitary engineer, Jeremy Sinko.
The always punctual.
Punctual, very punctual.
There you go.
Five resolutions for consideration today. The first is authorizing change order number 2 for the Boston Road Sanitary Pump Station Replacement Project. That's just a time extension on that. The second is authorizing the sanitary engineer to invest the retainer of Fetchco Excavating Incorporated for the substation road water main improvement project in an escrow account. The third is awarding the proposal and authorizing a contract with Great Lakes Construction for construction manager at risk services for the Chippewa wastewater treatment plant project. The fourth is authorizing the sanitary engineer to enter an agreement with Osborne Engineering for professional design services for the Chippewa wastewater treatment plant project. And the final is a partial release of an existing sanitary sewer easement.
Move to approve the 5 resolutions.
Second?
Moving second, any discussion? Jeremy, want to go a little bit? I see George Palco is here from Great Lakes Construction. Just congratulate him. And good to know that we've got a local firm that's going to be able to act as our construction manager at risk. You want to describe the process of how the rankings were done and who all was involved in that?
Yeah, sure. We, as part of the CMAR, or construction manager at risk process, we sent out qualifications, shortlisted that to 3 companies, which was Great Lakes Construction, Shook Construction, and Concosing Industrial. After the request for qualifications was submitted, we issued a request for proposals to those 3 firms, in which we graded both on a technical proposal and a pricing proposal. We graded that, and the graders were myself, Dave Brandon, Ben Romine, and Rob Emmons. Mm-hmm. We took our scores, averaged them together, and incorporated that into a pre-graded sheet that determined our point values. And Great Lakes came in at the highest. Out of 100 points, they scored 96.6.
Super. Good.
Mm-hmm.
As everybody knows, it's a very important project to the county. We've had our special meeting with the area. A lot of elected representatives, as well as former trustees, were there, as well as economic development. And this is one of the biggest projects we've ever had. So this is a milestone for Medina County, and certainly it's a very important project. And glad we have a local company that's going to be working with the commissioners and with the sanitary engineers office to make sure that this is done efficiently, effectively, and that we have a great product at the end.
Yeah, we're excited to get rolling on this.
Super great. Any other comments? Anything? Roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Jeremy. Holly Murin, our Human Resources Director.
Good morning. On our personnel changes resolution today, we have 2 rate increases, 1 in office for older adults and 1 in transit, 3 promotions, 1 in maintenance and 2 in sanitary, 1 fund and department correction for solid waste, and 1 resignation in transit.
Move to approve.
Second?
Moving second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Holly. All right. Brett Thomas, our Finance Director.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I have all of 3 resolutions for you. Quick week this time. The first one is designating the Battered Women's Shelter of Summit and Medina County to receive their portion of marriage license and divorce fees for the upcoming calendar year. Our second resolution is expenses of county officials. Nothing that is out of state here this week. And our third resolution is for our weekly bills in the amount of $697,331.75. Sorry, we had a little typo there.
Yes, okay.
Move to approve 3 resolutions.
Second.
Moved to second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes. Very good. Thanks, Brad. And Matt Springer, our county administrator.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have 2 resolutions. The first one is authorizing a change order for the Medina County Veteran Service Building Addition and Renovation Project. The total amount for this change order is $1,371.90. We do anticipate this being the last and final change order. As you know, veterans are planning to be closed October 29th, 30th, and 31st, and then moving into the new facility November 1st. So.
Super.
And then the second resolution is for another change order. This was associated with the Medina County Administration Building Restroom Renovation Project. There were 6 change orders requested here for a total amount of $36,144.04. A lot of different modifications that were made once the actual demolition occurred. You almost don't know what you're getting into until you peel back some of those walls. So a lot of those change orders are included within this particular request.
It's an old building.
Yeah.
Move to approve both resolutions.
Second.
Moving second. Any discussion?
Veterans Building's looking great from the
Yes.
outside. Haven't been
Really?
looking
I know.
forward to them getting back to the new space.
Indeed, indeed. Roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll go ahead and read the resolutions from the Highway Engineer's Office. Resolution determining the necessity to close Abbeville Road for tree work. And the second resolution is determining the necessity to close River Styx Road for roadside construction.
Move to approve both resolutions.
Second.
Moving second. Any discussion?
I can only assume they didn't want to be here because they knew I'd have questions about River Styx being closed. That's always a problem for me. But-
And he always notes it, but he did put the permits in our packet too.
Right.
Yes, that is. I should have noted that. All right. Roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes. Yes. All right. Department updates. Richard Nelson, our chief building official.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Building Department report for September. Overall construction value ended up being down 19% in September, making the year-to-date value 12% above last year. So things are still rolling pretty good. The new home prices in September cooled off a little bit, down to 369,000. Made the year-to-date average 410,000. For September, we had pretty good home starts. 41 new home starts is the highest in 4 years, but short of the 44 that were started in September of 2020. But still, that's pretty good too. Moving on to the second page, our monthly receipts for September. Down 10% compared to last year at this time. And page 3, our year-to-date receipts, 1% less than this year, or this time last year. So we're not too far off. Page 4, year-to-date, lists all the residential permits by townships and villages. And year-to-date, we've issued 2,500 permits residentially. That's all permits, all kinds. And then on to page 5, the commercial permits by townships and villages, 150 permits issued year to date. And the last page shows the just the 4 commercial permits that were issued in September. So we're just plugging along. Review turnaround times are still good. And this report can be found on our website a little later today. That's all I got.
Well, I see that Seville Village is
Yeah.
obviously cranking out.
74.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's keeping that average cost down a little bit there. They tend to be the smaller.
Maybe true.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, very good.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bethany Detler, Economic Development Director. Good morning.
Okay, an update on the first 3 quarters of the year so far. We've seen a steady amount of economic development activity this year. We're seeing about the same amount of capital investment as last year this time. Countywide, there's been nearly $180 million in new capital investments announced as committed investments. We define that, we do include new machinery and equipment as well as new real property or property improvements. I expect that lower interest rates over the next 6 months will likely incentivize some pent-up expansion demands, and the end of election season is always helpful. These projects have committed to the creation of nearly 485 new jobs in Medina County with $24 million in new annual payroll. That's actually much higher job creation than we saw by the third quarter of last year. And we do have a number of other projects that we expect to close before the end of the year. So I would imagine we're probably going to top at least $200 million for 2024. Since my last report, we've seen industrial expansions in the cities of Medina, Wadsworth, Liverpool Township. We've also seen the absorption of 300,000 square feet of speculative industrial space in Westfield Township. Maybe familiar with that building across from the pilot. We've also seen commercial investments like the groundbreaking of a new Cool Beans and Culver's up in Brunswick and the opening of a new Chase Bank facility in Medina. We continue to work on infrastructure support for the creation of a new industrial park in Harrisville Township, and we've begun conversations on what I'm calling some transformational economic development opportunities that are just in the beginning stages. Unemployment rates continue to stay low in Medina County. During my last quarterly report, I mentioned that May's unemployment rate was 3.8%. The rate actually dropped to 3.3% in the month of August, which is well below the state of Ohio's August unemployment rate of 4.2% and the U.S. unemployment rate of 4.4%. While the county's August unemployment rate this year is a bit higher than the August 2023 unemployment rate of 3.1%, it's good to note that the county's overall labor force increased by 429 people from last year this time. We're still about 1,600 people shy of our pre-COVID labor force from August of 2019, but considering that we lost over 6,100 people in the labor force in 2020, we are definitely moving in the right direction. And that positive workforce trend is confirmed by the 188 business retention and expansion visits that we've conducted with county employers so far this year. We're hearing that they're having an easier time attracting job seekers, but there's still work to be done on the training and retention side. As you know, our companies, particularly manufacturers, are eager to share what's going on behind closed doors so that they can continue to attract future workers. We had a very successful Made in Medina County Day on the first Friday of October. We did this to celebrate National Manufacturing Day, and we had 250 people registered for 13 tours of manufacturing facilities throughout the county. That included a student tour of FIT up in Liverpool Township. Last Friday, we hosted a meeting of our county's manufacturing industry sector partnership. We're working on planning our strategic activities for the coming year. We're also planning to apply for a grant from the Governor's Office of Workforce Transformation, and that's going to involve collaboration and support from a variety of education partners and other nonprofit organizations. Here's a few other updates on our workforce engagement efforts, particularly with regards to students. For our pre-apprenticeship program, Jake Altman has taken the helm of the program under the guidance of Will Coran, who is now playing an advisory role as we begin the 4th school year of this program. Jake is currently working with high school counselors in each school district to identify the students who will be part of the program in this coming school year. We have completed video recording the 11 Workforce Academy modules that are required for students to earn this pre-apprenticeship certification, so now teachers can use them directly with students throughout the school year. Over the next few months, we're going to be working on closer partnerships between our students and our business communities so that the businesses can provide those students with real hands-on and certified workplace experiences. We're also in the midst of scheduling student tours of the Magnet Student Engagement Center up in Cleveland, where they get hands-on opportunities to learn about manufacturing in a safe environment. Our Career Coach program, Mitchell Bemke has begun counseling sessions with students this school year. He's also helping businesses to coordinate student outreach events. He's piloting the Youth Science Aptitude Testing Program with students at Buckeye, Brunswick, and Medina Christian Academy. I mentioned this, I think, last quarter. It's a pretty powerful tool that will help guide students into their careers based on their actual abilities, not the fact that they like to play video games, but it also will help us analyze our county's future labor force. Throughout the next school year, Mitchell will be promoting our Work Scholarship Program, which awards $1,000 grants to students who have secured a job in Medina County upon graduation. And we're grateful for the support of Medina Sunrise Rotary, which just awarded us a $3,000 grant to support that program. Few other updates on our activities with the Medina County Land Bank. On October 1st, we were asked to present at the Fall Summit of the Ohio Land Bank Association in Mount Vernon on how we started the Medina County Land Bank. Sean Carvin actually said, "You did it perfectly." So I guess we were doing something right. But it was a great opportunity to make some connections with other land banks in the state, and we picked up some best practices and new information that will be helpful for us as we continue to grow. In the past few weeks, the Land Bank received and has executed the Welcome Home Ohio grant agreement for $300,000. And we're hoping to hear about the remaining $2 million grant we requested any day now. On September 20th, they told us that the awards would be announced soon, so I guess soon is relative. For the Medina County Port Authority, we are working on projects in Wadsworth and Seville. We're also seeing some interest in the remaining land at Innovation Park. As I reported in May, the Port Authority is still waiting on the approval of the $1.5 million in brownfield and building demolition grant applications that we sent to the Ohio Department of Development this spring. The buildings that were approved for the county set aside have already been demolished and new things are being built, but we're hoping to get the grant agreement sometime before the end of the year so we can get those costs reimbursed. The Port Authority issued a request for qualifications notice last month since we are seeking accounting services from a firm with broad experience with public sector clients. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. For our Convention and Visitors Bureau, Jody Robbins has hired a new programs coordinator, and Matt Horner has hit the ground running with marketing and new social media outlets. Matt is a Wadsworth native, now living in Medina. He has a marketing degree from the University of Akron. He's been a great addition to the team. He's already designed advertisements for 6 different publications to promote Medina County's tourism events and attractions. And in fact, Jody and Matt were interviewed on the travel show Out and About in Columbus, which is one of our target areas. This was in response to the World Atlas report naming Medina as one of the best Ohio small towns. The entire spot of 30 minutes was aired on 2 networks in Columbus on September 21st and 22nd, and it highlighted multiple businesses and events throughout the county. Jody has been meeting with tourism stakeholders in Medina County to discuss how the CVB can support their 2025 events, including some programs that could bring nearly 1,000 visitors at a time for overnight stays. The CVB team is beginning the process of updating the Medina County Visitors Guide for 2025. We're still actively distributing our current guide in preparation for the holiday season. 5,000 of our guides will be polybagged with Ohio Magazine for November distribution to target audiences in Dayton and Cincinnati. Jody just returned from the Ohio Travel Association annual conference, picked up some great insights from leaders in the tourism industry, and she learned that our social media and website traffic is exactly on track with our peers in the CVB world. In new trends, she shared with the CVB board that artificial intelligence tools can play a positive role for us moving forward as long as we use it to enhance what we're already doing, not to plagiarize what everybody else is doing. The bed tax payment of nearly $156,000 that we received in August reflected the hotel bookings from visitors to our region who came to our area for the eclipse in April. This year's third quarter payment was 50% higher than the third quarter average payment over the last decade. and it was the highest quarterly bed tax payment in the 33-year history of the Medina County CVB. So moving in the right direction there. One final note, our Medina County Business Awards program is on Tuesday, October 22nd. It's not too late to register, but I just saw that Sherry sent out a last chance email. The event starts at 5 p.m. at the Blair Center. We already have over 220 people attending, so space is kind of limited, but we hopefully you guys are signed up, and anyone listening still has a chance to join us.
Super.
Great.
Any questions? Anything? Super.
All right, thank
As
you.
always, great report. All right. Dan, we already,
We're too
We
late.
took care of you.
feels like it. Do you have anything to add other than the resolutions? You want to come up?
Yeah, you had a question about river sticks?
No, it's always a source of pain for me. That's all.
We're
That's
going to be
close.
doing some ditch cleaning. It's going to be a pain for a little bit, but we'll get it done quickly, I promise.
That's no problem.
Okay.
I just took a pot shot when you weren't here. That's really all.
Oh, well, thank you. Sorry.
That's all right. No, we were able to handle it. All right, thanks. All right. Commissioner's resolution. We have resolution amending the appropriation measure resolution. Colleen, did you want to address that?
I want to address it because you guys aren't completely updated on the backstory on this. Matt and I had a meeting with the auditor's leadership team last week. We do think we need some more information gathering. We had some scheduling conflicts last month, so we do need, there's a larger appropriation that may be needed, but as always, we like to make sure we're paying our bills in a timely manner, and we do have an outstanding bill with Clemenshaw, who handles our reappraisal. So I would like to make this smaller appropriation than was originally requested, and then the 6 of us are getting together this month to do a deep dive on some things, and then we may do the larger appropriation later on down the road. But of course, we want to get our bill paid right now. So with your permission, I'd like to do this appropriation.
Okay. With that,
Move to approve.
Second.
moving second. Any further discussion?
So is the amount it's going from $1 million to what, 1.3 ish?
Yes, the amount of the existing bill right now around $250,000. So we're going to have more Clemenshaw bills before the end of the year. But
So
this one we want to get taken care of right now.
So the amount of the bill is represented in the increase.
Yes.
That 227 increase.
636,
Okay.
Yes. And then in addition to this, we were originally going to have the meeting with the leadership team during an open discussion session meeting. It looks like it's going to be a little longer meeting than anticipated, a lot more detailed than anticipated. So with your permission, on top of this resolution, Matt and I would like to meet with the 4 leadership team, on a huge meeting, and then report back to you with the information that we receive. Is that okay with you guys? Because we were going to do that today, but it looks like it's going to be a lot longer than would be a part of an open meeting.
No, that makes sense to me. So when you mentioned the meeting of 6, obviously one commissioner. And
One
Matt.
commissioner,
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
We had Kyle and John there, and then Tony and who was Dennis.
Yep.
Dennis DiCamilla.
Perfect. I understood that. I wanted to make it clear that it wasn't the 3 of us meeting.
That's correct.
No.
outside.
It will be the 6 of us. We're going to do it this month, and then we'll report highlights back to you. So.
Okay.
Makes
Any
sense.
other
You're the
discussion?
liaison. That makes sense to me.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes. All right. Got that. All right. No other resolution. Open up for public comment. All right. Nothing for public comment. We'll go ahead and proceed discussion session. Matt, do you have anything for us? Jeremy, anything? Good. Okay. Brett, anything? All right. For public discussion.
I do. I received an email reminding us that our lease is up for the 2 training rooms and the few times a year that we can get the Westfield room at the University of Akron. I was going to call the sheriff and see if he wants to continue for another 12 months. But before I called the sheriff to see if he wanted to continue to another 12 months, I want to know if you guys are interested in renewing this lease, if the sheriff still continues to feel that it's very useful for him to have access to those 2 training rooms.
Yeah, I think just recently with our special meeting, it was good to have access to the space.
Denise uses it occasionally also for planning and zoning seminars. It's a reasonable price instead of building a whole new training facility. But before I made the call to the sheriff, I just wanted to make sure that it was okay with you guys.
Sure. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
All right. Good. Anything else?
That's it.
Just it's still difficult to navigate, especially on a rainy morning. But the new concrete that's open, it was nice to park on that this morning, and we'll look forward to when the rest of the job is complete. But a lot of work, and we had the bathroom resolution today too. But a lot of work going into updating the administration building, and I think it's going to be great when it's all wrapped up. So. Thanks to Stephen and his group, and also the engineer's office has been a big help in that project as well, and in keeping it moving and in getting it in under the wire before the weather changes too much here. So,
anything
That's
else?
it. Nope, that's
All right. Good. I wanted to bring up for discussion, we have an invoice from Broadband Access Ohio, and I'm glad Bethany's here. We have been at paying at a annual rate of $1,500 that essentially, with that organization, was formed for those a couple years ago when there was I'll just say there was legislation that was somewhat threatening to any public entity that was involved in fiber optics. Of course, with the Port Authority, and the county has been heavily involved with that for well over a decade. And the idea was to band together the municipal and public-owned systems to make sure that they were being fairly represented at the state level. This is an annual. It basically, with that level of contribution it basically allows us to have one board member. I've attended those, as well as David Corrado. I did, once we got the invoice, I did check with Bethany and David as to whether we really want to stay at that level. The organization itself is, I'll just say the politics has changed down there a little bit. I'm not sure that we need to be involved at the board level with it. We can still be supportive of their effort to lobby on behalf of the public systems like ours and Wadsworth and others that have their own broadband and fiber activity. I would like to suggest that we go I think at the lower level is like $500 to be, if you will, a member, but not necessarily a board member.
That makes sense to me.
Frankly, they continue to have meetings on Tuesdays. Makes it more difficult for us to actively participate, and I understand that the nature of it, because they're trying to involve the legislature, and I think that at this point we want to be supportive, but don't have to be at that board of directors level.
No, I like
for
that plan.
Okay, so
I agree.
if you're all right with that, we'll go ahead and basically reduce it to the $500 level. Be supportive of the effort. We're still we'll stay in communication with them, and whenever they have activities out in Columbus, we'll certainly try to participate as much as possible in enlightening our legislators that needs to be a fair and balanced and open process when it comes to the accessing public dollars for the expansion of fiber and broadband within the community. So, okay, great. I will move forward with that. All right, I've got nothing else.
Then I would move we convene an executive session to prepare for and review a collective bargaining strategy and to consider the compensation of public employees.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Harrison?
Yes.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes. All right. Very good. That's it for today. And everybody have a good one. And the sun is starting to shine, and hopefully the rain will diminish a little bit.